What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of StaleMates. We are going to preview the NCAA Wrestling Tournament coming up this week. We're going down, Tyler?
St. Louis.
St. Louis. We're going down on Wednesday. I'm excited for it. Last year, we had the year off. That sucked, so it's about a year later now. But at the same time, if that whole thing didn't happen, we wouldn't be here doing what we're doing. So it's just how the cookie crumbled. We have a special guest today, Mr. Jake Agnitsch. What's up, brother?
How are you?
Jake is my neighbor, and so if you've ever heard me on an episode reference my neighbor and it's wrestling related, that's who I'm talking about. He's the head coach of Southeast Polk Wrestling. I called him up, said, hey, come, let's talk some wrestling going on, because he's a better wrestling mind than me. He's been wrestling since, when did you start wrestling?
I started in 8th grade, so.
8th grade, and then he's been coaching for how long?
4 years in high school and like 6 at club.
6 at club. All right. Well, we're not going to get too much into that. We're going to get into this NCAA preview show. But before we do that, we want to thank our sponsors. We have a new sponsor on board. If you watched the last episode, you guys heard me talk about it. It is Iron Sharpens Iron Team Camps. Go check them out. They have a team camp June 22nd through June 25th at the BN venue, Cedar Falls, Iowa. And then also July 13th through July 16th at the same place. Iron Sharpens Iron is unlike any other camp you have ever experienced before, bringing in the best technicians in the world. Wrestlers will stretch themselves from tough to tougher while still having a blast. As the biggest K-12 wrestling camp in the country, ISI offers students the opportunity to be equally matched with other wrestlers from all over, offering the best opportunity for growth. Your camp experience can be shaped to be exactly what you want it to be, with additional optional training sessions, affordable meal and lodging plans, and fun nightly activities. We guarantee you and your team will be counting down the days until your next ISI camp visit. You've heard the good things, Jake, right?
I've heard great things. So
have great things there. Steve Farrell up there taking care of business. Also, Barbarian Apparel, of course. We are the Barbarian boys. Love their stuff. They take care of us from top to bottom. If you guys need custom team apparel, go check them out all the way out in Cincinnati, Ohio. And lastly, MatMan Apparel out on the West Coast will also take care of you and your team if you need any mat tape, for example. Okay, I think they're ranked number 1 in the mat tape game, and other stuff as well. They've got freaking ankle bands, skull caps, singlets, you name it. You ever had any of those stuff, Barbarian or MatMan or any of that?
We use MatMan mat tape.
It's the best.
Yep, we have a ton.
You ever had your tape fall apart?
No issues.
No issues. All right, so go check them out. Hit subscribe down below. All right, I think we're rolling. Let's get into it. $125 is I think it's a Spencer Lee show, don't you think? You filled out the entire bracket, right?
Right.
And who do you have on? Well, first of all, let's go. Let's not jump forward a little bit. What do you see at 125 in the first round? Like, I'm just kind of going through it, and what's interesting about this year, obviously, most of these guys haven't wrestled each other. So if you pull them up on WrestleStat, there's almost like no mutual matchups or mutual opponents, I guess. But like going through it just right off the bat, I see my boy Kyson Terrakina is gonna have to wrestle Spencer Lee if he beats Patrick McCormick, which I'm hoping that he does. And then Devin Schroeder and Fabian Gutierrez is a good one, in my opinion.
Agreed. I mean, I think 125 more than any other weight has the most landmines as far as guys who could bust a bracket. So it's super exciting. I had a hard time filling out my bracket just because I didn't know who to pick at certain weights or certain matches. But I guess 3 matches that really come off to me are Robbie Howard and Malik Heinzman. They've wrestled, I think, once or twice this year, with Heinzman winning both, but they've been decently close matches, and that's a big match for Penn State. And then Danny Vega, Dylan Ragusan, that's another big one. Those guys like to score a ton of points, but they also like to get scored on, so that's going to be exciting. And then I think another one is Trevor Mastrogiovanni versus Diagostino from Northwestern. That's a 21-12 matchup, but Mastro, I don't think he's a 21 seed. He could do some damage in this bracket.
And then I think also Zurich Storm and Drew Hildebrandt could be an early upset.
Yeah, I don't know, a ton about Hildebrandt coming out of the MAC. He doesn't get the best competition. Obviously, he's undefeated, and he's been a previous national qualifier, so he's obviously good, but that could be interesting.
Yeah, I think Zurich Storm has a couple wins over Sam Latona last year.
That sounds right.
You're the one who put Sam Latona on my map. I remember it was before the NC State duel. You told me to watch out for him, and that day I actually I was on another show and I said that Sam Camacho was going to take care of business, and then Sam Latona kind of entered himself in the picture. But I think if you're looking at this whole bracket, I don't really want to spend too much time on it because I think we all know it's a Spencer Lee show. But did you see or hear anything about his knee? Like, you think? Not that Jake's not like an insider. I'm not asking him because he knows something that we don't know. But do you think that's going to have any sort of, is that going to come into the picture at all, or does that not really matter?
I bet you he doesn't even wear the knee brace.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I mean,
I think he is.
I don't know.
He's been wearing that knee brace since freshman year.
Yeah, he releases the knee every once in a while though. So I don't know. We'll see. He's gonna bonus his way through.
Do you
this
think
tournament.
that the knee brace has any sort of advantage at all? Or disadvantage?
What do you mean? I think it's a disadvantage, if anything. I think that's what he was talking about the most at the Big Tens. I think it was holding him back a little bit.
Why, did he say something, or what do you mean?
Just, I was reading online about all these people saying he's saying he blew out his knee. I think he's talking about his knee brace being kind of hindering his ability to scramble and bend his knee in ways that he wants to.
Because I remember it was either a clip on Twitter or something, where you could see him kind of look to the corner, and it looks like he said, it's gone, it's done, or something like that. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, that's what I think he's talking about, is his knee brace being, he doesn't want to wear it anymore.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Hey, everyone thinks they know, but
I think him talking about the knee brace would make sense more because he looked, I don't know, like you said before, he ran off the mat and everything. It didn't really look like the knee itself was hindering him or anything like that.
Yeah, he's been wearing it for so long that it's almost, to me, just become a part of who he is now.
Yeah, watch him wrestle though. He's got rubber knees. He can trick knee out of everything, and I think that kind of holds him back in certain situations.
I wonder why would they have him wear it then? I don't know. I'm not. I think even if his knee was done, I think he still would beat anybody with a torn ACL.
I think Bobby Telford could carry him out on the mat,
and
he just still bonus his way through this tournament.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. 133. Let's move on to that one. Let's see here. I'm going through the bracket. It's been a little bit. I try not to look at the brackets too much lately because I wanted to give somewhat of a first impression look. But I am excited for my guy Zach Redding to hopefully get past Ryan Sullivan, and then him and Austin DeSanto. I think he throws Austin DeSanto a little bit of fits, because Zach Redding wrestles kind of like Jared Dagan in a way where he's super unorthodox, and a guy that's super lengthy like that, and then a guy like DeSanto's so traditional, like he's gonna do a fireman's every single time. I think it might be tricky for DeSanto.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that DeSanto's not someone you want to wrestle for the first time at the Nationals. These two haven't hit before, and he's never felt DeSanto before, and I think you watch a lot of guys get closer with DeSanto the second time that they wrestle him.
Also, Anthony Madrigal and Mario Guillen. Personally excited for that one. Got a personal connection. Mario Guillen and I are related somehow. We are related, but I can't tell you exactly how. So I'll be watching him and Madrigal. Madrigal had a close matchup in the. I feel like that's just kind of Madrigal in general. He wrestles really tight matchups.
Yep.
So I'm excited about that one. And then let's see here. I'm excited to see how Dayton Fix wrestles more than just Big 12 opponents. Moshe Schwartz is going to be exciting. Who do you got in this match? Who do you got in this bracket overall?
I think it's going to go pretty chalk up until potentially the quarterfinals, where I think DeSanto Philippi could be an interesting match. I don't think they wrestled, or at least they haven't wrestled in a couple years, so it'll be interesting to see how DeSanto can kind of negate Philippi's scrambling and top game. But overall, I think it's Fix versus RBY in the finals. I don't see how that match doesn't happen. I got Fix, but I think it's going to be closer than people think.
Yeah. What about Zach Redding? You think Zach Redding's got All-American?
I've actually got him on the back
side.
So
Jake filled out the entire bracket, top and bottom.
Yeah.
I was actually going to text you because I thought you would have it in a virtual document, but you went old school.
No, always old school with this kind of stuff. No, I've got Redding losing to Trombley from NC State in the backside, and then Trombley losing to Bird in the blood round. But I mean, obviously anything could happen.
What'd you make of that Lucas Bird DeSanto match at Big 12s or Big 10s?
Yeah, I think people are kind of underestimating Bird a little bit. I know he got whooped up on by DeSanto in the first match, but I think he's a true freshman. So, obviously those first couple times making weight, wrestling in the Big Ten are going to be a little difficult. And then he's starting to figure it out. He whooped up on Chris Cannon for third at Big Tens too, which was really impressive. So I kind of think he could. I mean, I've got him in the top 6 here. So
yeah, there's really not a lot of good first-round matchups at 133, in my opinion.
no, I agree.
41. I'm excited about this one. Obviously, this is probably one of the more top-heavy weight classes. There's a ton of good first-round matchups in this one. One that I'm excited about is let's see here.
Rio Woods and Willits, I think, is one that stands off jumps off the page to me. Those two wrestled at the Pac-12 finals, and Willits was the one who beat Woods to, stop him from automatically qualifying for nationals. So,
do you think that was just a little mat rust on Real Woods, or do you think it's gonna be different this time around? I didn't actually get to watch it. Did he get stuck, or was he getting beat up and then pinned?
I think he just went out and got pinned. I haven't watched it yet either, but I do think it's a mixture of mat rust, and then, he just hasn't been training, so it's going to be hard for him to recover. You got to give a guy like him the benefit of the doubt in certain situations. I have him winning first round. I think he'll turn that one around, but I don't see him beating DeMoss, even though in a normal year where he's training all year, I'd pick him to win that for sure.
What did you make of Real Woods getting in to the tournament? Was it different than the Dresser thing? I made the whole video saying I didn't think it was that much different, and Dresser got all this bad backlash. And then it seemed to me like people were almost pulling for Real Woods to get in. Did you see it? Did you see it differently than I did?
No, I think it was almost worse than what Dresser did. But I think people are kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt because of the whole Stanford thing and his situation, which obviously sucks, but I don't know. It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. You agree? You're here, grab the microphone. I thought you were going to say something.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. I feel like people are giving him the benefit of the doubt just with the ending to Stanford, and no one wants to see his season end like that when he's one of their top wrestlers. Things like that. So he's getting the pass.
I didn't know it was even legal to wrestle between conference and NCAAs. But
who did he get his matches with? Do you know?
Cal State Bakersfield or something, or
okay.
I can't even. I don't.
Cal Poly. He wrestled
never
the
heard
same
of the
guy
guy
twice.
But that school or Stanford hooked them up too with a guy, I believe. And
they needed one guy.
They needed a guy to get a couple wins to get his winning percentage.
Did that kid get in? Do you remember?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it was Chance Rich, which I can't remember what weight he's at.
Yeah,
33 maybe, actually.
At 41 though, I think I'm taking Nick Lee.
Really, I'm actually kind of opposite. I think Rivera's gonna win. Just watching that match, he didn't give it away, but those two scrapped hard, and I thought Rivera looked better most of the match, and just Lee kind of, got one out there at the end. But I think that Rivera can beat Ironman, but I'm not going to pick it. I got Ironman winning this weight. Actually, though, I think if Nick Lee beats Rivera, I think he beats Ironman.
Okay.
If that makes you feel
Nick
better.
Lee beats Rivera.
If Nick Lee beats Rivera, I think he's going to beat Ironman.
But you'll take Ironman over Rivera.
Correct.
Ironman's tough because he's so unorthodox, but I feel like since he's gone to Iowa, he's got a lot more offense.
Yeah, I agree. I just watched him and Lee wrestle, and he got one counter takedown, and Lee was kind of figuring it out. And
Lee figured it out halfway through the match.
Right, but he was in the middle of getting rode for 3 minutes or whatever, so that kind of negates his ability to push his pace, and he's a pace guy and a volume attack guy, and that's kind of what Ironman wants. But if he can get Ironman a little tired, it's gonna really affect the match.
I'm excited for Ian Parker too. I think Ian Parker has a good chance to be an All-American again.
I've actually got him getting fourth in this bracket, so
yeah,
I feel good about it.
He's an All-American already, isn't he?
Nope. Well, I don't know. It depends on what you want to count last year's results as. He would have been a first-team All-American then, but he wasn't before then, I don't believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's so hard. My memory is not good when it comes to this stuff.
2 years ago is a long time.
Yeah, no kidding. 49. Pretty bummed that the Andrew Aliras got pulled out. That was going to be a good one. That's insane to me that even happened. Sammy Sasso, let's see here. Ridge Lovett and Peyton Omania. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, both guys like to go upper body. Omania obviously has a 4-6 record, but when you're wrestling in the Big Ten, it's, you can't really look at records, especially in a shortened season. So he loves to throw headlocks, both lefty and righty. So it'll be interesting to see what him and Lovett can do.
Mitch Moore and Josh Heil. That's another good one to me. I think Josh Heil's a little banged up.
Is he?
I think he is. Mitch Moore, he looked good, though, at the Big 12 tournament. He lost to Boo Llewellyn, which that would ended up being
could be a second-round match.
A second-round matchup if that happens. We talked to Lou Rosselli the other day on the radio show on ESPN 1350, USA Takedown, and they're excited for that matchup too. And the first time that they've wrestled 3 times this year, and the first time was not close, and then last time was a 1-point match, and then this time, you never know. I mean, they both have tough opponents in the first round, but
yeah, I mean, it should be interesting. Another first-round match I'm really looking forward to is Yahya Thomas and Jaden Abbas at the 25 and the 8 seed. Yahya, obviously 25 seed, but I think a lot of people wouldn't be shocked if he came out an All-American. So he's kind of underseeded in my mind, and Abbas is obviously the son of a legend, so should be interesting.
Casey Cobb and your boy Michael Blockus.
Yeah, I think Mikey's gonna win there. I feel really good about that, and I actually feel really good about him and Mahler. So it should be fun to watch.
Mahler's somebody that I feel like a lot of people haven't talked about this year, probably because it's just conference wrestling, and they didn't get the chance to wrestle at I can't remember, where does Mizzou go throughout the year? Are they at Midlands? I know they've been at Midlands.
I don't think they've been at Midlands the last couple of years.
They know they go to Scuffle.
Yeah. So, I mean, Missouri normally has a good schedule, and they normally duel a lot of really good teams, and they would have normally dueled, Okie State and potentially Iowa. So you're talking about a match with Boo Llewellyn, but, Mahler's undefeated. He's a former All-American. I've actually got him in the semis here, but kind of hoping for a second-round loss from him.
Tristan Lara and Mike Van Brill. It's another exciting one. MVB had a really good Big Ten tournament. Tristan Lara, who do you have in that specific match?
I mean, I'm going to be pulling for my guy Tristan Lara, but it's just hard to pick against Mike Van Brill, especially after he went out and got 3rd place at the Big Tens last week.
If you guys are wondering why he keeps saying my guy, Jake coached at a kids club for a few years.
Yep.
And so Michael Blockus is one of his guys.
Yep.
So a lot of guys in northern Iowa.
Yeah, like Northeast Iowa.
Jake helped mold those young minds, so he's kind of pulling for him.
Oh, yeah.
Griffin Perriott and Jarrett Dagan. I hate to say it. Dagan's tough, but, man, is he banged up.
He's crazy banged up. I can't believe that he's even wrestling and even had the tournament he did last weekend.
I mean, he's been banged up since probably his sophomore year. I know last year it was pretty rough for him, and then this year it just seems kind of be a continuation of that.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see if he's one of those seniors that just kind of hangs it up. Yeah. I mean, I know they've got a good guy in Cam Robinson behind him, but man, it'd be hard if you're just banged up and constantly in shoulder braces and having to stop training for shoulder and knee issues.
At this weight altogether, though, who do you have?
I've got Sasso over O'Connor in the finals, Sasso over Boo in the semis, and O'Connor over Mahler, so pretty chalk. There's not a ton of landmines. I think Boo and Mahler have what it takes to win. I'm just not going to pick it.
Do you think the second round Ridge Lovett and Max Mirren match will be different from the first time around?
I'm a little bit of an Iowa homer probably here, but I've got Mirren winning actually. I don't know. I know Lovett looked awesome at Big Tens, but Mirren is a stud. He's going to come out really hard, and he's going to be wanting that match back. So I've actually got him beating Lovett in that match, but I've also got him wrestling for 5th and 6th, in that placing match too. So should be
bias.
Interesting. I know.
The Iowa bias. I don't know why we keep having these Iowa guys on this show. We need some more Northern Iowa and Iowa State people on this show, don't we, Tyler? Tyler and I are actually sitting in the the Hawkeye section this time.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do. My mom asked me, she's like, "What are we gonna wear? Are you gonna wear cyclone stuff?" I'm like, "I'm just gonna wear the color yellow."
That's probably smart.
It's gonna be great for me.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool.
Tyler's sitting in the Campbell section.
Oh, yeah, it's true. I'll be with Campbell. Yeah.
He'll be wearing, they gave us all
I'll
that
be
gear.
rocking Campbell.
Yeah. I hope you get a good section. I hope we're somewhat close.
Yeah. I mean, we'll be able to film. That's all that matters.
Jake, where are you going to be watching? At your crib?
I'll probably be watching with one of my buddies, Jeff Evans. He also coaches at Southeast Polk. That's a
Shout
plan.
out. You guys watch it every year?
Oh, yeah, every year. In his basement. Every year.
Oh, man. How many TVs are you going to have?
Oh, I think we'll probably have 2 or 3, and then obviously probably 2 or 3 laptops as well. So
Dang,
we'll have it set up.
You probably have a better view than we will, to be honest.
I actually enjoy it a little bit better than being there. You know, I get right up, close up views of every match. And
you guys having some adult beverages the whole time?
Probably, but I don't know yet. Most likely.
I'm wondering how intimate it's going to feel in person there watching. Like, are we going to be super far away with how they're going to go with protocols and stuff like that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Well, I think they always have the bottom, like, bleachers and stuff pulled up anyways. But I don't know. I don't know how open Missouri is. The big thing that I'm worried about is, like, crowd noise. I just hope that there's a lot of crowd noise because I'm watching these basketball tournaments going on, and it's just, like, dead silent. And that's not.
Even the Iowa High School State Tournament felt like a little eerie with just how quiet it was compared to the usual.
It was a little louder, though, than I thought it would be. But, yeah, it was quieter than it normally is. Yeah. The Iowa State UNI duel that I went to, it was like 20% capacity. I don't know how many people there. Probably a couple thousand. It got loud sometimes, and I think there's gonna be a lot more people there. What was it? 4 tickets per student athlete?
I think that's what I heard.
Yeah, so I think it's still gonna be good. 57. I'm excited. This is I think this is gonna be huge for David Carr. He's looked good all year. Hasn't really wrestled like super tough competition, but he's terminated almost everybody that he's wrestled. I don't see like really anybody for him until probably the semis, but I don't want to jump that far ahead right off the bat. But what do you see in round 1 that you're excited for, Jake?
You know, there's not a ton of first round matchups that I'm super excited for. I was excited for Brayton Lee, Justin Ruffin, but I saw that he pulled out of the tournament recently with an injury.
Who did?
Justin Ruffin.
Oh, okay.
From Southern Illinois. He was a high school stud. So, but one match that I'm personally excited for, Cade DeVos, Southeast Polk alum. So I got to work with him a lot. He wrestles Chase Saldate, so that's going to be an interesting match first round. After that, though, the second round is full of great matches. You got Young Berge, you got Carr Luan, you got Ja'Cory Teamer, Brayton Lee, Jake Houston Thomas. I mean, just tons of really good matches. I think there's a few that could go, any way, but I think those top 3 seeds are going to push through, and I think they're the cream of the crop.
Yeah, I see White Sheets going in. If he beats the Lehigh kid, he'll have Ryan Deacon right away. Who was it that tweeted that? They can't believe that they put. I don't want to screw this up. Somebody tweeted that. Why would they put White Sheets in there when he's like more injured than probably the injured guy or something like that? I thought that was funny. Anyways, we'll move on here. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm you've been doing the Hawkeye Homer thing so far in this show. I think Carr for me. Like I'm taking Carr. I can't not take Carr.
I want to take Carr. I just haven't been able to see it yet. I wish we would have been able to see it last year because I think that would have maybe changed my mind. But I don't see him beating Heidley yet.
See, I think Heidley is the one that I'm saying he's going to beat. Deacon's the one that I'm more worried about.
I would be worried about Deacon. He looks like he's a 184-pounder wrestling 157, and he's a stud. He's solid. He's gotten better and better each year. I've got Deacon winning, and I don't think it would matter who is on the opposite side of him.
You have Carr getting third?
Yeah, I've got easily over Caleb Young. So
yeah, 165. Moving right along here, 165 is another good one. Luke Weber and Andrew Sparks, I think, is going to be fireworks.
Yeah, Sparks wrestles really, really hard the whole time, and Luke Weber just had an awesome Big 12 tournament where he, beat Whitlake and then won in the finals. So that could be an interesting match.
Alex Marinelli. A lot of people were saying that Alex Marinelli had a bad draw. You think he had a bad draw? When you're the 1 seed, right? He was the 1 seed last year. He did, the whole Joe Smith thing, right? Or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't think Alex Marinelli, like, I'm not saying he's got an easy draw. Nobody has an easy draw. But when you look at some of the other guys' tough draws, I don't think he's really in that conversation.
Which part are they considering a tough draw in this bracket?
Shane Griffith.
Okay.
Shane Griffith. But that's Friday morning.
Yeah, Shane Griffith is good. I believe he was ranked 3rd or 4th in the coaches poll, which I know is a big deal for seeding normally. So I'm not 100% sure how he dropped down to the 8th seed. But, I mean, I've got Shane Griffith come back being in that 3rd, 4th place match. So, I mean, I think really highly of Shane Griffith. I don't think he's going to beat the bowl. And then Mikey Lewis I have him making the semis, but who knows? He's so banged up, and I don't know what to think of Mikey.
Back to the Shane Griffith thing though. Where were the Hawkeye fans or whoever was saying that? Who would they rather have in the quarters?
I mean, I think a guy like Travis Whitlake or I guess they probably don't want Keegan O'Toole. You know, maybe they'd rather have an Ethan Smith or Zach Hartman, someone like that who, you know, Marinelli's beaten a couple times. I think the whole thing about them not having wrestled before really worries a lot of Hawk fans. And Bull, you know what he likes to do at Nationals, right?
Yeah,
he likes to get like 7th or 8th place. So I think they're a little worried about that.
I think personally I think it's either going to be Anthony Valencia or Keegan O'Toole who wins this bracket.
Really? Over Marinelli?
Over Marinelli, yeah.
And until proven otherwise, I can't pick against Marinelli. But I do have O'Toole making the finals here.
You have him over Valencia in the finals or Wenzel for the semis?
So I have him beating Wenzel in the quarters, and then I have him beating, and maybe I'm too high on Whitlake, but I think the winner of Whitlake, Ethan Smith, is going to beat Valencia. And I know that's probably dumb of me, but I think whoever wins in that second round match will beat Valencia. Valencia is obviously a stud. I just don't know if he has what it takes to put it all together.
He's been looking good this year. He was losing to Isaac Judge like 5-0 in the Iowa State duel, but he dropped him.
So that's like exactly why I'm worried about Anthony Valencia.
He won though.
I know he won.
Winners win. He won.
It's true.
He pulled it off. That made me mad. Honestly, after that one, you know what's funny? I had a huge tweet typed up before that. Like that was the day I was on Media Row for the first time. And I had a tweet saying that's Isaac Judge saying like, you know, F you to everybody who said Iowa State doesn't have a 65-pounder, you know? Mm-hmm. And sure enough, I was like, had it typed up, you know, and I was going to hit send, and then he gets freaking put on his back, and I just went delete all the way back, and I never tweeted it. I almost, like, typed at the end, like, this was the tweet I had ready to go, and I couldn't send it. But, yeah, I don't know. Keegan O'Toole, to me, I've got, like, a huge, like, freaking man crush on this guy, the way he wrestles. He's exciting to watch.
He's a stud. He can wrestle in every position. He puts guys on their backs. He scrambles well. He's
another guy
attacks
that Isaac Judge was beating.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I think that's a Keegan O'Toole thing. I think guys are going to maybe snake a takedown on him or two, and then he's going to figure it out and, you know, find a way to put a guy on their back. And, I mean, he's not someone I'd want to see at Nationals.
No, he also, I can't remember what duel it was, but he pinned somebody in the cradle. Imagine that. And it was, like, on the edge of the mat, and it was right in front of Brian Smith. Because they're doing that weird thing now where they put the coach's chair like in the middle of the mat instead of the corners, and he pinned him right in front of him, and you just see Brian Smith like turn to the other coaches like, what the, like he was so confused himself, and he's seen a lot of funk going through that room.
Yeah, you know, I think with this weight too, I think we're kind of underestimating Jake Wenzel a little bit. He's a stud. He's, you know, Pittsburgh guy, 9-1. I actually think if he were to beat O'Toole, and I'm not picking that, he would make the finals on the other side of this.
You have Marinelli, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not as big of an Iowa fan as you think I am, but I do have Marinelli.
This guy's from Ames too.
Yeah,
originally.
yeah.
Freaking traitor.
Blame my dad.
What's the guy? What's the history guy? The famous traitor?
Oh,
Paul Revere.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Benedict Arnold.
Oh, Benedict Arnold. That's who it was. Who's Paul Revere?
He's the dude who's like, the British are coming.
Yeah. He's a snitch.
That's true, too, though.
Jake Benedict Arnold Agnitsch over here.
Oh, yeah.
Not Paul Revere.
I've been called worse.
Was it rough growing up in Ames being a Hawkeye fan or no?
Not too bad. Obviously, I think it was more of just me wanting to be different than everybody else, and my dad. I grew up an Iowa football fan, is more so than wrestling, and then my dad was like, "Oh, Iowa wrestling is the best," blah blah blah. And it's kind of funny because he's actually become a huge Iowa State fan. Like he doesn't even like Iowa anymore.
As he should be.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. I'm slowly becoming more and more of an Iowa State fan and less of a Hawkeye fan. So
why?
I think more so than anything, I just will like good wrestling, and then I find myself at more Iowa State duels. And
are you a dresser guy? Team dress?
Yeah, I like Dresser. I think he's doing a good job. So,
you ever met him?
I've met him a few times, but nothing like too crazy. He probably wouldn't know who I am.
He didn't know you at first or anything? I mean, he's got to know you now. Jake's the coach at Southeast Polk, which is the biggest, I'm going to say probably the biggest, most notable Iowa high school program.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think so.
Yeah,
I mean, he recruited Cade DeVos and Gabe Christensen pretty hard.
Did they call you and talk to you?
Well, at that time it was Coach Christensen, so
yeah.
No, but I mean, I stay in touch with a few different Division I coaches, so about some guys. So
yeah, are you like me whenever you meet? Like I've talked so much crap about the Brands over the years that when I met him, I just totally went back in my hole. You know what I mean? And I just kind of I was like, oh, how's it go? I was like, he doesn't know all the stuff that I've said about you before.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think the Brands are a lot different than most people think. Like, I think they come off really bad at sometimes, but they're pretty like laid back and like to joke around a lot in person. So Dresser same, like he loves to joke around, so it's all good.
Ah, man. 174. Let's move on. This one's tough. I do like Donnell Washington and Jake Alar in the first round. That's an exciting one.
Yep.
Your boy Lance Runyon versus Mikey Labriola. He got kind of a tough draw there, huh?
Yeah, he did. Him having the injury default out of Big 12s, I think hurt him with seeding quite a bit. So it'll be interesting to see how he does here. Mikey Labs is a stud, so should be fun.
Is Lance Runyon a little banged up?
Yeah, he's real banged up. I mean, he's been a little banged up all year, so it's kind of been tough to watch. But he still had a really awesome year. I mean, he's a national qualifier. You can't take that away from him.
Okay. I'm gonna go all the way down to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I want to say that Austin Murphy's a sleeper as well. I know I'm being a little Campbell Homer today.
I've got him in the quarters,
which that's fine, but he's pretty freaking good.
Yeah, I agree.
You think he's gonna go all the way to Carter Starachi?
I do. That's where I've got him falling. So,
and then also at the very bottom here, I'm looking ahead to round 2. You got, I think it's gonna be Dustin Plott and Demetrius Romero, and I know I defended Demetrius Romero a little bit on the seeding stuff. I said everybody likes small Division I programs until they get a high seed, but I think Dustin Plott beats Romero.
I'm not going to go that far just with Plott being banged up like he is, but I do think he could. I wouldn't pick it, but I think he could. I think that whole quarter right there is really good with Peyton Mako from Missouri as well. I mean, him and Mantanona is going to be a crazy match first round. And then the winner of that gets Caleb Romero from Ohio State. So that whole quarter is going to be really interesting. It could go any different way.
Yeah, I'm excited. The whole thing, oh, man, I'm going Kemmerer. He just seems to get the job done. A lot of people kind of on my timeline hating on Kim Dog a little bit, saying he's not as offensive as he normally is, but he's winning.
I mean, he's winning in fairly dominant fashion. I know you might look at a 1 or 2 point win, but when that guy doesn't come close to scoring, how can you hate on a guy?
And I think the guy on the other side of his bracket is going to be Starachi.
Oh, yeah. Starachi, however you say it. I think he's going to make the finals for sure. And I actually think that Kemmerer is going to have a harder time with – I have him wrestling Mikey Labriola. I think he's going to have a harder time wrestling Labriola than Starachi. That's just my personal opinion, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go, and I wish I would have filled out the whole thing like you did, because sometimes it's hard for me to visualize the entire thing.
I mean, Labriola Massa is gonna be an awesome quarterfinal. Those two are gonna battle, and then the winner of that has Kemmerer, so it should be a lot of fun. I've got Kemmerer winning though. There's my Iowa bias again, but
So Mako from Mizzou is decent. I don't really know much about him.
yeah, he's legit.
Okay.
I mean, he was a good high school wrestler. He has a win over Runyon this year. I'm not 100% sure who his loss is to, but he's a 10 seed, so obviously he's pretty good.
Okay.
184 moving right along here. Let's see. Sam Colbray and Parker Kekkeisen. I don't know how you say it. That's a good one. I watched that in a duel this year, and that one went to overtime. Some controversial matchups. Sam Colbray really hasn't looked like the normal Sam Colbray. He was another guy that was banged up for most of the year. But we have a potential for an upset there. Parker hasn't lost all year. I think he is legit. My Cyclone homerness is going to come out a little bit. I think I'm taking Colbray over Parker Kekkeisen. Colbray seems to step it up every year at nationals when he makes it, except for when he wrestled the UNC guy Chip Ness. But the rest of it, I'm taking him. I'm taking Sam Colbray in the first round.
I could maybe get on board with it. I'm not going to pick it just because I think Kekkeisen is legit, but I think he's going to get Colbray tired, and I think that's going to be the ultimate factor. But Colbray's a gamer. He's a stud, so it could potentially happen. It's an awesome first-round match.
Bronigal and Caleb Hopkins, another one. Caleb Hopkins is really good on top, only one loss on the year.
Mm-hmm.
He has the better seed than Bronigal, but Bronigal's pretty dang good.
Yeah, Bronigal's he's a brawler. I think people underestimate how difficult the Big Ten schedule is. So you can't really look at records a ton when you're talking the difference between a Big Ten guy and like a SoCon guy.
Yeah, Hunter Bolin is another one that's going to be tough when Nelson Brands and Hunter Bolin in round 2.
Yeah, I've got Bolin winning there, but I think both guys are for sure place winners. Just how my bracket pans out, and there's a little more Iowa bias, but I think Brands is going to be a tough match for anybody. I don't think he's going to beat Bolin in that second round, but I do think he comes back and beats Samuelson to place. But man, Bolin is one of those guys I think that kind of got screwed in the seeding. Dropping all the way to the 5 seed. I know he's got a loss, but his one loss is to Trent Heidley, who I believe he split with now. So that's an interesting seed there. And then, Kekkeisen getting the 4 is big, but, he's a freshman wrestling a Big 12 schedule that's pretty tough. Another guy here that I think is going to kill it. I've got him on a ton of my fantasy teams, so here's a free tip for you. Dakota Gear. Going to make the quarters, and I think he could potentially make the semis, and if he doesn't, I think he's placing for sure.
Okay.
Dakota Gear at the 11.
So you have him losing to Lou Duprez or beating Lou Duprez?
I have him losing to Lou Duprez. But, there's some potential for some upset there. He's a former All-American. He's back down to 184, where I think is his actual weight. So I think he's going to have a really good tournament. I actually have him losing to Brands on the backside, and he drops to that 7th, 8th place match, but there's potential there for him to be in the top 5 or the top 6. And, as an 11 seed, if you're talking like, a fantasy wrestling thing, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. How many wrestle stat pools are you in?
Oh, man, I think I'm going to be in like 7 or 8 after tonight. I'm doing a draft tonight, so 7 or 8. Yeah, it'll be interesting. But, I think Aaron Brooks wins this weight. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if he
He's another
didn't.
one that's banged up that people are putting a lot of stock into.
Yeah, I think him and now I have Bolin beating Kekkeisen, and who knows. And I think Bolin is a much tougher matchup for Brooks than Kekkeisen. I think Kekkeisen will kind of shoot himself out of the match, but Bolin's not going to shoot. And it's going to be a 1 takedown match. And, maybe he snakes one out or gets a riding time point like he does against Heidley all the time. But I have Brooks over Heidley in the finals.
Yeah, I do too. I think Brooks is going to win it, though.
He's legit.
97, moving on here. We got 2 more weights. We did bring up WrestleStat there. If you guys want to be in a WrestleStat pool, go check it out. We have one on there. You can find us on there. It's called StaleMates. That's the name of the pool, and it is open, so you don't need to pass or anything. You just join. I think right now we have 150 entries. We'd like to get 200. That'd be cool if we got 200 people doing it. And then if you get first place, you get StaleMates care package. So we'll throw in merch and stickers and all this cool stuff. And then top 3 get a T-shirt to the Elite T-shirt club. So if you finish top 3, you get your name on a plaque, a virtual plaque that is. Maybe we'll do an NFT. You know what an NFT is? No? You guys?
Oh, explain that one.
An NFT is a non-fungible. You know what I'm talking about? The NFTs?
Mm-mm.
NFTs where they're selling like highlights and they're selling for like thousands of dollars. You can own like an NFT. No?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, we'll have to show you guys when you're done. The NFT, they're selling like you can buy a LeBron clip. It's like basically like a baseball card, but it's but you own it. You own like the highlight.
Like virtual property?
Virtual property, yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys play Fortnite?
No.
Nope.
No. Well, on Fortnite, you can buy what's called a skin, and so you basically buy an outfit. That's technically like an NFT.
Yeah, I get the concept now.
And so you could own like a virtual, anyways.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
No, it's crazy that people buy that though.
Oh, it's like somebody sold a collection for $69 million.
$69 million?
$69 million. There's a guy named Beeple or something like that. So every day he's uploaded a piece of his graphic design artwork online for like 12 years, and he sold the whole collection for $69 million. An NFT, just a digital like collectible.
Wild.
I thought baseball cards were crazy, but
No, that's the same thing. Anyways, I don't know how we just got off on that tangent. 197, Miles Amin, the number 1 seed. This bracket is insanely stacked early. Okay. So 197, the Big 12, they got hosed, I think. The Big 12 was absolutely stacked at 197,
Yep.
and over any conference, right? But they put them all together, so they're gonna get eliminated from the front side really early instead of we could have saw like a all semis Big 12. That would have been sick.
Right. I mean, I think this is similar to 125 where there's just tons of landmines and there's going to be upsets in the first and second round like crazy. Man, I had a really, really difficult time running through my bracket here because I think that a guy like AJ Ferrari could win a national title, but he's got to go through Jake Warner, who I think's a bad matchup for him, or an interesting matchup, and then he's got to go through Miles Amin, who's an Olympic qualifier. So if he was on the bottom side, I'd pick him, no brainer. But he's on the top side with Warner and Amin, and
I mean Ferrari Sloan in round 2 is pretty crazy, but I don't know how healthy Ferrari is. Or
Sloan, I think he banged up his shoulder pretty bad, and Ferrari kind of took it to him in the Big 12, I think, semis. So, I mean, I've got Ferrari winning that match for sure.
Rocky Elam and Cam Caffey in round 2.
Yeah, it's a crazy match. I've watched Rocky Elam just from some high school stuff and Fargo and all that. And he's a stud, but, I mean, he's got to beat Jake Woodley first round. Jake Woodley's no slouch.
No, Jake Woodley is Jack City as well.
Yes,
he is shredded to the gills. A lot of those Oklahoma guys are. And at this 197-pound bracket, I got Ferrari winning the whole thing. I think it's the Ferrari show.
Wow. I feel dumb because I just keep picking all these weights to go chalk, but I mean,
you got Warner? You got Jacob Warner?
No. No, I've got Amin winning this one. He's had a ton of close matches, but I think he's got the most offense and the best finishes. So I have a hard time seeing him losing, but if he's gonna lose, it's gonna be to Ferrari.
Okay. I like it. I got Ferrari, and on the bottom side, let's see here.
I've got Schultz from Nebraska.
Eric Schultz.
How far you got Coleman going?
Marcus Coleman, he got a good draw, didn't he?
Let's see.
He's got Lucas Davidson in round 1, which I don't really know much about. Then after that, he's got Jacob Warner and Runyon. What is their matchup? Can you look up what their matchups are back and forth, Warner and Coleman? They might not have never wrestled before.
They've never wrestled because Coleman's been a 74 and an 84-pounder. I don't know. I'd have a hard time seeing Coleman beat Warner, but I mean, I actually have Coleman losing to Davison, which hurts my heart because I'm a big Coleman fan.
Ames on Ames crime.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez.
I know.
What's the name? Benedict Arnold?
Yeah.
That's the guy.
All right. So do you have him going 0-2 or what?
Let's see here.
He looked good at Big 12s. I'm just curious how he does in the whole bracket overall, just after watching his Big 12s.
No, I've got him winning a couple matches here. So, I mean, I don't think he's going to go 0-2. I have a hard time. He hasn't had a ton of matches, and I don't think he's going to be that big at 197.
All right. 285. Let's end out the show here.
Let's do it.
I mean, it's a Gable Stevenson show, so I can't imagine you're picking Cassiope, right? You're picking Gable.
Gable all day.
Okay, good. Let's see what we got in round one though. Let's see here.
One match I'm kind of looking forward to, which is hard for me to say as a lightweight watching some heavyweights, but like Zach Elam and Brandon Metz as a first round matchup, that's interesting. I think Elam's too good of an athlete to lose that match, and then he goes to the winner gets G. Graham. So, and those guys have gone, I don't want to say back and forth, but they've had some close matches throughout the years. So, I am excited about G. Graham though. I think he
got a really good draw.
I mean, he probably got.
I would love to see him in the semifinals.
He probably got about as good of a draw as he could have asked for. Not being in the same quarter as Cassiope, Gable, or Paris, so you can't really complain too much there.
But he is wrestling Sam Schuyler right off the bat. Shout out to Buffalo Wrestling in the house. But yeah, I would love to see Gannon get to the semis.
Yeah,
and he's looked good this year.
He has looked good. I have a hard time sometimes with him just because he kind of struggles to get to offense at times. But I'm a huge G. Graham fan. Big friends. One of my best buddies, Brett Haas, coached him in high school, so I've always been on the G. Graham train. So I'm hoping he can make the semis here.
Where is Colton Schultz?
Colton Schultz is the 4 seed, so him and Cassiope in the quarters is a big match. I mean, it's important for Iowa in the team race, and then I don't think people know that much about Schultz. He hasn't wrestled a ton. I think he beat G. Graham, right?
He beat Grimmel, yeah.
But
it went to like triple overtime. I think he went to rideouts, which you would think in rideouts would go to Grimmel.
You'd think, but I mean, Schultz being a Greco guy, you wouldn't think he'd be good at riding guys out, but I don't know, maybe he is. I mean, like I said, I haven't seen him enough, and the only time I do see him was Greco stuff throughout high school. So obviously he's a Greco stud, but
Stevenson Paris finals.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see any
decision
other,
major tech pin.
Probably if I'm a bet man, I'd go decision, but if he went out and majored or teched him, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I think all those are a possibility, maybe besides the tech fall.
Yeah, you start throwing in 4-point near falls, and then things get really interesting if you go to your back a couple times. So I wouldn't pick it. I'm picking Gable over Paris by like 6 or 7 points.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's the whole show there. That's the whole NCAA preview. Now we have it on wax, so now I can't go back and say I said this or I said that. Like, it's now official.
Mm-hmm.
The WrestleStat thing. I'm gonna say my team, because we got a little bit of time left. I'm gonna say my WrestleStat team. Tyler, have you filled out yours yet?
Yep.
Your mic wasn't on when you said that.
Yeah, I got mine filled out.
And pull yours up real quick. If you don't have to say who you have, do you not want to reveal it, Jake?
Nah, I don't care. I can tell you my team.
Everyone
it's
gonna win tournament time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna change mine, so mine could change.
I'm not changing mine.
Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. All right. So we have 153 members right now, and I'm gonna pull up my little squad. Let's see where we at. I'm clear at the bottom. Okay, at 125 I have Spencer Lee. At 133 I have Zach Redding. 141 I have Alan Hart. 49 Van Brill. 57 David Carr. 65 Keegan O'Toole. 74 Logan Massa. 84 Hunter Bullen. 97 AJ Ferrari. And 285 I got Gannon Grimmel. That's not a bad little team. I used up all 1,000 points for that.
It's not bad.
I'm kind of riding that MVB bias a little bit because he did so well at the Big Tens. But you said it's all about picking champions, though.
I mean, I've done these pools a lot, and to me, it's you get a couple champs and then a couple guys who you think could maybe potentially make the finals. I mean, you're talking about an NCAA champ's going to score 25 to 30 points normally, where a fifth place finish could get you 6 or 7. So, I mean, to me, it's about finding those champs. I mean, my team, 125, Spencer Lee, 133, Chance Rich. Don't worry about him.
That's the reason. That's the guy. That's the guy.
141, Ian Parker. 149, Max Murin. 157, Brady Berge. 165, Keegan O'Toole. 174, Carter Starocki. 184, Hunter Bolin. 197, AJ Ferrari. And 285, Gable Stevenson. So, I mean, I think I've got, like, I don't know, 5, maybe 6 potential finalists. So I feel pretty good about my team.
Tyler, who do you got?
I got 125, Spencer Lee. 133, Mickey Philippi.
Yeah.
41, Dom Demas. 49, Max Murin. 57, I got Brayton Lee. 65, Keegan O'Toole. 75, I went with Ramiro. 84, took Jake's word, went with Gear. 97, Cam Caffey, and then 285, Gable Stevenson. So I took the 2 studs, too, that would score me the most points, I thought.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the show. Thank you guys for watching. Hit subscribe, please. We want to get to 2,000 subs. We are close. I think we're like 35 away, something like that. So please hit subscribe. Drop a comment. Let us know where we're right or where we are wrong. Thumbs up. And shout out Iron Sharpens Iron, Team Cants, Barbarian Apparel, and MatMan Apparel as well. Jake, thanks for coming, and happy birthday.
Thank you. Go Rams.
Go Rams.